Hi, Happy New Year! Happy 2020, my lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I know that all of you have lots of New Year's resolutions. I have some also, but I just want to make sure that this 2020 is going to be a fantastic year for all of us. So I'm just coming here with this video to give you some practical tips and tricks of how you can make all your 2020 New Year's resolutions come true, because it's really good to have dreams and objectives, but if we don't have some tools to actually make them reality, then we're going to get demotivated and sad, and we don't want that for 2020. We want all happy 2020 from start to finish. So keep on watching to see the tips and tricks that will make your New Year's resolutions come true.
In order to make sure that all our objectives become reality, it is important to follow certain steps. First of all, it's important to know how to establish our objectives. So we're going to use the SMART model here. And SMART is an acronym, and it begins with S, which means specific. This means that you have to think exactly of the result that you want to obtain, and it's really important to think with a lot of details of what you want to obtain, of the result that you want to get in the end. You have to describe and think with all the details. So basically it has to answer the question, what is the exact result? Then we can move on to M, which is measurable. So it's really important that we can measure the result that we want to get. And the question that we want to answer is, how will I know that the result has been achieved? And that's how we're going to measure it, basically. And then we can move on to A, which is achievable. Again, it's really important that our objectives are achievable. And in order for us to know that our objectives are achievable, we have to think of, well, is it measurable? Yes, it should be measurable because we just established the measure of it. We also have to think if it's been achieved by somebody else before us. That's a way of thinking. If we can achieve our objectives, if somebody else did it before us, that means that we can do it also. We also can think if it's achievable in principle, like common sense, basically. We also have to think of the resources. Do we have the resources, financial resources, internal resources, to actually achieve this result that we want to achieve? And then we can move on to if our objective is realistic. So it's really important for our objective to answer the question, is it possible for me to realize this objective? And then we can move on to timely. And timely means we always have to have a deadline. It's really important to have a deadline. And I know, because we're thinking of New Year's resolutions, you will think, oh, the deadline is the end of the year. And I recommend you not to have the end of the year, because a year is a long time. So let's give, for example, if you want to lose weight, give yourself until the half of the year to lose the weight that you want, like 10 pounds, 20, whatever you want to lose. And then give yourself until the end of the year to solidify that result and to keep the weight that you lost off. Advice number 2 is change the way that you express yourself and that you think. If you're going to think in terms of I have to, the chances of you being motivated to do what you wish to do are very thin, because you'll feel constrained that you will have to do something. But if you change the way that you think and replace I have to with I wish to, I want to, I choose to, then the chances for you to actually go ahead and do what you want to achieve are much higher. think that you want to achieve a better version of yourself and change the way that you express yourself. Like, for example, express yourself in terms like, I wish to start loving myself more by exercising. Advice number 3 is put your list in a visible place in your house. So after we've set up all our objectives as smart as we could, because we just learned how to do that, then just type in a list or write it down with your lovely hands and just put it in your house in the most visible place that you can think of. This will be a constant reminder. It is going to hit you in the face every day that you decided you want to achieve those things, and is also going to hold you accountable, because every person that's going to visit your house, every person that's going to come in your house is going to see that list, and each person is going to be a person that's going to hold you accountable for you actually doing what you set up to do. Advice number 4 is to visualize. It's really important to visualize every day what you want to achieve. Just close your eyes and see yourself as if you already have achieved those goals that you set yourself. This way, you're going to create in yourself the resources to achieve every objective that you want, because once you see yourself doing it, your brain is going to believe that you already did it. So you are going to have the internal resources to actually go ahead and do it. So you can do this by meditating, or you can just create a visualizing board, and like this will help you see yourself. But my advice here is to get some images with like not stars or anybody that you know. Just get some images that reflect you. So as you can see, I got actually some drawings, or you can get any images that reflect you or what you want to achieve. So this will help you to visualize your goals. Advice number 5 is just be gentle with yourself. It's important for us to hold ourselves accountable, but it's really important to be gentle with ourselves and to understand that we are human and we might have a day that we just don't feel like doing it. And I'm saying this because lots of people set themselves up for failure, because they start really strong at the beginning of the year. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then once they fall off the wagon, once they just think that everything is compromised, that they can't bounce back, and they just give up. So don't do that. Just be gentle with yourself and remind yourself every day that you are human and you are allowed to have an off day. Advice number 6 is don't expect change to happen overnight. Well, now you know that change is not going to happen overnight, because you have objectives, you have reference in time, and you know how long it's going to take you to achieve what you set yourself to achieve. You're going to need hard work, you're going to need patience, and you're going to need perseverance. Rome wasn't built in a day, so don't expect change to happen overnight. You know that there are no miracle diet cures, and the chances of you winning the lotto are pretty slim. So just put in the work. Advice number 7, and the last one, is just persevere. As I mentioned earlier, don't expect change to happen overnight. You have a plan, and you're just going to have to stick to it and persevere. It takes 90 consecutive days for a new habit to set. So you're going to have to go through that process. Don't give up at the first obstacle. When you're a child, you learn how to walk by falling a lot. Think that if you wouldn't have stood up the many times that you fall when you were a child, you will still be crawling. So get that perseverance that you had as a child and just stick with what you want to achieve, and you'll be amazing.
Okay, my darlings, that was all. I hope that these tips and tricks helped you or will help you realize everything that you wish to accomplish this year and this new decade. Why not? Please leave me a comment with one of your dreams that you have for this year. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to give it that thumbs up. We always appreciate that. And also share it with one of your friends that has a goal to accomplish this year. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You might also see other videos with practical tips and tricks. And still goes in the new year also. Don't forget to love yourself and love life with everything that it has to offer. Bye!